What is the stupidest thing a large amount of people believe in? We only use 10% of our brain. One of my favorite comments from Reddit is using 100% of your brain is called a seizure, and you wouldn't like it. Don't know who put it, but still makes me laugh. Or traffic lights only use 33% of their lights. Be useless if all the lights were all in use at once. I did like the movie Lucy even though I knew it was 100% horseshit. Lucy was actually pretty fun until she turned into a ducking PC. Uses 100% of her brain, becomes an omnipresent godlike being and goes back in time to acquire all knowledge for the human race. Builds an entire new PC generation to store the info, refuses to elaborate, vanishes into the fifth dimension. Even Morgan Freeman was at a loss for words. I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm on my way right now. I used to have a friend who would always say this, so I started making her honk her horn to prove she was actually in the car. They're just gonna buy an air horn. Scientology. You'll never forget watching the South Park episode about Scientology and thinking, haha, yeah, this cannot be real. This stuff is way too far-fetched, and then I googled it and googled the instruments they use for Scientology and who some well-known names are that were who were part of Scientology, and I was completely shocked. They had to put a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen during certain parts of the episode that said this is what Scientologists actually believe, because they thought people would think it was satire. Stop upvoting me or Terry's going to be Scientologists snooping through my trash in a week. That a little bit of chloroform on a rag over someone's nose and mouth for a few seconds renders them unconscious. Totally not from first-hand experience. And if you bonk someone over the head, they'll be immediately unconscious, only to wake a few minutes later, pretty much fine. One of things I love about Archer. When someone gets knocked out, he often reminds them, that's really not good for you. Also, he gets tinnitus that gets worse throughout the show as he uses guns without hearing protection. Not just him, but the entire cast has progressively worse tinnitus. That millionaire politicians will represent the working class. Our is there for the employees' benefit protection. I used to believe that and worked with a few that actually did support and help employees. There was a moment when management sent out a confidential survey to the entire company. Apparently, some people were too frank for management. They were bullying the hour rep into giving them who said what. She told them that if she gave them the information, no one would ever trust the surveys again. She didn't cave in. However, she lasted only another 6 months. The new guy that came in gave off an immediate company man kind of vibe. I've never been honest in a survey after that. Everything is fine. It's not worth my time fighting those battles. Retirement is looming and I'm not endangering all that I worked for. My old company did one of those surveys. The email stated, "We want your opinion." The answers were all multiple choice, with no field for writing a response anywhere. My boss asked me what I'd thought of the survey and I replied, "It's funny how they asked for our opinion without actually letting us give it." He didn't like that response. A former plant manager once asked a colleague about what things went wrong and what could be improved. He asked whether she wanted to hear the truth or not. She wanted the truth. He told her. She got mad. Our plant manager asked for the truth. We told them the truth. They didn't get mad, but they didn't do much to fix things. We have blue blood and it turns red when exposed to oxygen. That hair grows back thicker if you shave it. I'm certain this was made up to convince young men with patchy facial pubes to shave. It's just that the hair appears thicker after the first cut because the ends of the hair are no longer tapered. So it makes the hair more prominent but not thicker. That and people first start shaving as they are becoming adults and they were always going to get more hair. A college dropout with tax evasion case will fix the Philippine economy again. 31 million people actually believe this. That the guest customer is always right. The customer is almost never right. Duck the customer. Found the brothel operator. I work at Walmart. Exactly. Walmart ducks people over at a rate that would make any brothel manager blush. And their employees get ducked daily too, exactly like a brothel. MLMS. That being in cold temperatures outdoors spontaneously causes illness. That the Holocaust didn't happen. Liar are gonna lie, and people believe lies. My father was in World War II, his U.S. Army unit helped liberate a concentration camp. We are losing the people with a personal connection with this atrocity, and with that loss comes opportunity for lying scum to try to rewrite history. Edit, having a comment blow up is rewarding. First, thanks for the great comments conversation. I've learned a bit, and the civility really defies the stereotype that Reddit is toxic. Next, thanks for the awards, I dedicate them to my late dad, a good man among many good men that fought in too many wars. There is a reason General Eisenhower, I believe, ordered pictures to be taken of the camps and all images and videos he shared around the world. If people did not know, then they could say it did not happen, but if you see, then you can never claim it did not happen. Not just that, he, I believe it was him, ordered Germans living in the nearby towns to visit the camps so that they couldn't say that they didn't know anymore. Not just visit. They had to help give the victims proper burials. Like actually having to carry the corpses and dig the graves, help if my sources are correct. Yeah, the nearby Germans tried denying any knowledge of what was going on, but the US knew it was a crock of shit, so they published them by making them dig the graves. The Earth being flat. If the Earth was flat, the cats would have knocked everything off of it by now. I have this on a t-shirt. Me too. That screaming at whichever hapless employee had to answer your call will magically get a supervisor on the line. It might work in a few places, but the person you want to talk to is probably too busy to deal with you, or they don't care, and the person you're cursing out is being paid to handle calls so their boss don't have to do that on top of their actual job, too. At least that's been the case at most of the places where I've worked. Note, I have never worked in a call center, so no, there wasn't a supervisor standing by. Incidentally, when I was a partial owner of a small business, anyone who was abusive to an employee was banned, full stop. I refuse to tolerate that nonsense. Edit, holy cow, this blew up. Remember to be nice to the people who did show up for work and are trying to help you, their hands may be tied. I'm the guy that these angry calls get transferred to. I've told the folks on the floor that sometimes people just need to hear no in a different voice. Yes, I have the authority to fix things, but the people I train know that, and most of the time I just sign off on their requests. If you call in and have a legitimate problem but are calm and understanding, my folks will do everything possible to try and fix it. It's their job, and the kinder you are, the more above and beyond they'll go. If you're yelling, we're following the minimum rules, we need to try and fix it and end the interaction, because even if we fix it, you may still be angry. It's interesting, I have a unique job that exposes me to a lot of customer service conversations. And you would be surprised how many large companies specifically design their customer service programs to lead the customer through a hell-like maze where they will never actually get served, and will give up on their complaint due to hold-induced attrition. That Marilyn Manson had surgery to remove his own ribs to suck himself off. Who started this, and how was it a rumor in every middle school in America? Edit, wow, hello world. I'm going to leave it as is, saying America, so more countries can check in and prove me wrong. Edit 2, how did this happen? Not just America. I live in the Netherlands and we talked about that as well. Amazing how a rumor like that can travel across the globe without internet. That legally banning something fixes the underlying problem. I'm so glad we have brown cows, otherwise there wouldn't be any chocolate milk. Sad that we have to whip cows for whipped cream though, so I've been boycotting it. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory moment. That we didn't go to moon. You believe there's a moon? It's cheese. Grommet. The moon is made of cheese.